Hello, David Baily again with Baily Insurance. Trying to continue to field some questions here that keep coming up in light of the COVID-19, as well as just provide some general content. So this is the next video installment in that series. One of the questions I was wanting to dig into today is, can I still buy life insurance? And before I answer that question, I have to address some harassment. In that last video, I did not have any of our contact information, so have added that here. It's not hyperlinked, but that'll be my assignment for the next video, see if I can figure out how to link it. But at a minimum, there's our contact information. So with that, we can jump in. Life insurance in light of COVID-19. Obviously, trying to make the most of this and figure out what's still available, what's still working. And before I jump into the can I still buy life insurance, one of the other questions we've been fielding, we issued several life policies last week, and fielded several more questions. But should I buy life insurance right now? Certainly a timely topic. And some folks are seeing their 401ks decimated, yours truly included, and they want a little extra protection in case something happens before the market bounces back. Certainly 100% expected to bounce back, but if there were to be an untimely event for myself, I'd want to make sure and protect my family in that regard. People tend to be a little more conscious right now of the need for life insurance, or at least their own mortality, and so some people are realizing that this is an unaddressed need, and so taking the time to do that now. Some people actually have the time to apply right now, which for many of us is a pretty rare commodity. Some clients are just scared and they want additional peace of mind. I want to say this is not intended to be a fear tactic. The vast majority of us are going to be not impacted at all, and if we are, the vast majority of us that are contracted are going to be completely fine. So I realize there will be some trauma and some difficult situations for us, but overall, this is not intended to be a fear tactic. And lastly, we don't want to jeopardize your cash. If this is something that's right for you, great. If not, make sure you're putting food on the table and taking care of yourself. The top reasons people tend to come to us to purchase life insurance: obviously debt protection, whether it's school related, home, business. They want to protect that and make sure that they can pay for that in the event that they're not around to do so. We're also seeing key person inquiries for businesses in light of the shutdowns and some of the business interruption that we're experiencing. We're seeing just how valuable our staff are, maybe, or not in some cases when we've taken those things for granted. So in addition to protecting for people's families, businesses have very real needs where if we had to replace key people, that would be expensive, and so you can insure against that. Burial expenses, reason that people buy, to build cash value. Tends to be whole life or universal life, is typically more as a supplement to other investing vehicles. Certainly talk to your advisor, but we're here to help you fill this need. Estate taxes, another reason that people come to us to buy life insurance at the end, to make sure that they're able to handle those tax obligations. Business planning to fund a buy-sell agreement is another common reason that we sell a lot of life insurance. And for instance, my brother Mike and I, we have life insurance policies on each other to protect our families as well as the business in the event that one of us would pass away. In fact, I should maybe keep a camera on the door there in case Mike decides he wants to try and collect on that life insurance policy. And the lastly, the far and away the most common reason that people buy life insurance is for income protection, right? So I'm not there to provide for my family. I want to make sure that life insurance will take care of them in the event that I'm not alive to earn that income. So Next question, can I still purchase life insurance right now? The good news is yes. It is business as usual for the most part. There are some limitations, some things being impacted, but by and large, it is business as usual. Obviously, the same underwriting process is still going to apply. The healthier I am, the less expensive it is. The unhealthier I am, the more risk for the insurance company, and tends to be more expensive. Tend to be impressed, I guess, that many of our insurance companies still have the ability to write insurance on people who have some pretty substantial health issues. So that's great. A lot of people are surprised, I guess, that to realize that, in light of, even if you do have some major health issues, you can still buy life insurance. And we're working with our companies to try and streamline the underwriting process and have some accelerated underwriting. And we'll get into that here in a second as well. But some caveats on it depends. And if you've been to a level 3 CDC country, there will definitely be a delay. Or if you're anticipating going to a level 3 CDC country, for instance, here's a list of those countries that, if you're traveling to, would definitely impact your ability to buy a policy right now. So if you're on your way back from Thailand or planning to head to Iran, that will slow things down. So also, in cases where where we need their clarification for the underwriting process or the approval process, things could be slowed down, right? A lot of resources are being shifted right now to COVID-19, as they should be, and that could slow things down. So just to be aware of that. And lastly, if you're applying for a policy that requires a paramed exam, where they would come into your home and kind of take blood, or do weight and height, and walk through some basic health questions, a lot of these paramed workers are not working. So there's some phone applications that can be done, and we're trying to work through some ways to expedite those solutions. But overall, again, business as usual. I'm going to show you here really quickly, just one other slide, just to kind of give people an idea of what we're talking about from a cost standpoint. So again, this is in the absolute best tier from a health standpoint for a male, age 50, in the event that, again, the sample Key Life proposal that I was working on. For 15 years, $1 million in face amount. You're looking at a range of anywhere from $107 to $125. And again, some of these things are impacted depending upon how quickly you need it or the accelerated underwriting. So it might cost you a couple $100 a year to get things accelerated. But overall, still relatively expensive for $1 million in coverage. Pretty remarkable. So bottom line, going back to PowerPoint here. Bottom line, many of us actually have the time to address this very real need that is often overlooked. So we encourage you to take the time to do that. Many of us have the resources, hopefully, to provide not just food on the table, but to think about our loved ones and businesses and provide for them in this way. So if you're in that position, that's great. There's very few restrictions on the underwriting insurance, and this is a great way to protect your assets, even the ones that have evaporated in the retirement fund. They will bounce back. But lastly, we're here to help. And I actually have our contact info on the screen here. And I'll just finish by saying I am very much encouraged by the fact that our life insurance companies are still doing business as usual. I think it's a testimony to their commitment to the public, as well as to the likelihood of recovery, and that this, again, for many of us is, while an extreme inconvenience or difficulty for hardship if we're not working right now, and or if we have loved ones that are suffering from this disease, by and large, we will bounce back, and we will get through this, and we'll do it together. But I really appreciate you tuning into this video, and keep an eye out for some other videos to come. All right, take care.